What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Robbing the People. And today we're going to talk about interest rates. Sorry, I'm in the car. I just wanted to talk to you guys, right off right off my head. So let's just do it. So I want to explain interest rates and why they're important. So, first of all, what are interest rates? Interest rates are what banks and equities charge for debt, right? Essentially. So, anytime you see an interest rate, just know that that's what they're charging you to borrow, right? So we got that out the way. So as an investor or just someone who want to monitor the economy, or how you can pay attention to the economy and kind of know where it's going in to make it clear on how things are being ran, right? You want to pay attention to something called the federal fund rate, right? And what is the federal fund rate? So the federal fund rate is an interest rate that banks use to it's an interest rate that banks charge each other to borrow overnight, right? So again, it's an interest rate that the banks use to charge each other overnight, and they use this interest rate to turn the economy down or to turn it up, right? And how do they do that? So the Fed is able to influence the economy by the Fed fund rate, because if the interest rate is high, like right now it's at 5.25, right? 5.25, and asset prices are coming down. You get what I mean? Well, they're supposed to, but so that's kind of how you want to measure it, right? If we're paying attention to the federal fund rate, it kind of gives us the overall outlook of how much debt is costing the economy, right? I mean, how much the debt costs us currently. You get what I mean? As a whole, right? And that's all institutions. You feel me? We all borrow from the Fed, essentially, just in different ways. You get what I mean? So, the federal fund rate is super important to pay attention to when you're trying to understand the economy. You get what I mean? And they also use this rate to stimulate the economy as well. So, like right now it's at 5.25, so they're trying to cool the economy down. So that's considered high, right? That 5.25 interest rate. Interest rates have been as low as from the federal fund rate has been as low as probably maybe. I think the lowest let's see how the lowest it's ever been, because I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't want to just be on here talking. Let's see how the lowest the federal fund rate ever been. Wow. So it says between December 2008 and 2015, the target rate remained at 0 to 1/4, the lowest rate in federal history, as a reaction to the financial crisis of '07 and '08 and its aftermath. That's crazy. So just back in the day, the rate was all the way down to 0 and 1/4. That mean they wasn't charging nobody nothing to borrow. So y'all get what I'm saying? That's why it's so important to pay attention to this rate, because our economy is driven by debt, right? Everything is driven by debt. That's why interest rates are so important, because the more expensive debt is, the harder it is, because that's how everything is financed these days, by debt. This is the system that they want. This is the system that they have created, and that's why it's so dysfunctional right now. That's why it's so hard. You get what I mean? On top of interest rates being low for that long, and now they have 5%, which is high compared to when they was at 0, right? So the federal fund rate right now is at 5%, and that's why you see the market and stuff having a heart attack, because it's expensive compared to what it was. I mean, it was at 0.25% in 2017. Did it say that? Yeah. 2015, excuse me. So it says from '08 to 2015, the target rate remained between 0.00-0.25%. That's hella low. That's free money, essentially. Yeah. So it's very important that you guys know these things, because if you don't, then it's just kind of like they just robbing us. You get what I mean? So it's just important that these type of things. But so we went over what an interest rate is. We went over what interest rate to pay attention to in order to monitor the economy, which is the federal fund rate. And then there's another instrument that you can also monitor in order to like be able to tell where the economy is going, and then also just the cost to be able to get the value of your dollar. So another thing I want to explain to you is something else that we pay attention to is U.S. securities, right? U.S. Treasury securities, right? And that's basically, I'm assuming that everybody has heard of a U.S. Treasury bill before, right? And what a U.S. Treasury bill is this is a loan that investors, or let me see how I can put it where you guys understand it. So a treasury bill is basically just like cash on hand, but it's cash that you loan the government, and they promise to pay you back that same cash plus interest rates, plus an interest over a specific time. You get what I mean? So why is a U.S. Treasury bill important? Right? Why do we want to look at a U.S. Treasury bill and see what it's going for? Right? We want to look at a U.S. Treasury bill and see what it's going for because it tells us the value of that dollar over that period of time, right? And if our economy is going through an inflation crisis, right, then we want to know the value of what we're holding, right? We want to know the value of our dollar. We want to know the value of anything that we're invested in and that we're trying to save, because inflation is our enemy. You get what I mean? It's robbing us daily. You get what I mean? So it's important that we pay attention to interest rates and certain securities in order to be able to protect ourselves, right? So you always want to you can check the what I check, I'm gonna tell you. So I just started checking the 3-month treasury bills since treasury bills have been yielding high interest rates, but they have a 2-year and they have 10-year, and it's important to check these U.S. securities because it's telling you whatever interest the government is promising to pay you back on you investing in U.S. securities, whatever interest rate they promise you to pay you back is what you want to compare to inflation, right? So if a U.S. Treasury bill is at 5.25, I just checked, a 3-month bill is at 5.25 right now, right? But if inflation is 8% for the year, then just like regular math, you want to do 8% minus 5, right? Because your treasury bill yielding 5. And if inflation is 8%, you trying to beat inflation, right? So really you want an investment that's yielding something over 8%, right? Or we don't really know what the end of the year inflation number going to be, but last year it was 8% for the year, and that was high, right? So we don't know what this year is going to be just yet, but if just as an example, if we was using last year as an example, and we invested in U.S. Securities or a treasury bill, even if the treasury bill was yielding 5% last year and inflation was 8%, so just like you in regular math class, 8 minus 5, right? That's 3. So that means your real yield on your money that you invested would have been negative 3%, because it's 8 minus 5 is 3%, but it's inflation, right? So you would have lost 3. You feel me? Because you didn't beat inflation by 3 points. You get what I mean? So it's very important that you just pay attention to just certain instruments, because they're going to tell you what the real value of your money is and what the real value of your investment is worth. You get what I mean? This is no video for you to go invest in U.S. Treasury bills or U.S. securities at all. I'm just trying to get you to understand interest rates and why they're important and how they stimulate our economy. You get what I mean? So I hope you guys was able to get that. I have some keynotes here on what I want you guys to take away from this video. You get what I mean? And I hope I was able to explain that for you clear enough. If there's any questions that you guys want to ask me, you know, hit my email at robbingthepeople1@gmail.com. Also hit my Twitter at robbingthepeople@gmail.com. I don't believe I have a 1 on there. So yeah, robbingthepeople at Twitter. That's my Twitter handle, robbingthepeople. And those are my only 2 sites for now. I also have a website that you could contact me through, which is robbingthepeople.com. And if you want to reach me through the site, you can. It's not really updated yet, but I'm still you still can access me through the site. So, you know, still check it out. I still have good material over there that's currently it's up to date with what's going on in the economy right now, but it's actually dated 3 years ago. So go over there and check my site out at robbingthepeople.com. Like I said, some of the stuff is not updated, but it's still updated with the knowledge. So go tap in and go check that out. Peace out until we meet again. Bye.